glad you guys are here. I think more are showing up.
Terrific.
First Wednesday of the month, our speaker series. We have phenomenal speakers today. I know, they're going to be here in a minute.
I can't
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
Just like
you guys know who they are, and you know what we're going to see because they do amazing. We all talk about it in the office every time they post. I just want to share a couple quick things. One, and I don't think they're going to say this, I'm not stealing any thunder, but at this point, anything that can be done by video should be done by video. Right? From everything they do that's really high-end and awesome to just basic communication, video. So watch this with an eye and an ear toward that. How can I adopt this in big ways and in small ways? Because this is how your clients get to know you. Like we get to know them. Their clients know them before they ever become clients because of this. Jared and Josette, the Live West team.
yes.
Phenomenal with video. Let's hand it over to you guys.
Just stay here.
You can just lay it there, but it's up to you.
It's just so robust. Never mind. Yeah.
So thank you guys for taking time out of your day to come and listen to our presentation. We're going to try and have fun today, which is, I think, at the foundation of just putting together a social media platform that's going to be entertaining for people to watch. We don't have a handout, so please feel free to take notes. And like Sean always says, don't have the smartest notebook in the office. Like, go and find one thing you can implement today. It is not very difficult, and we'll talk about some ways that you can do that. How many of you are scared of social media, of like posting videos?
Sometimes. Really? Are you?
Like half of that. Like it's nerve-wracking, and you know it's kind of like when you get your learner's permit. You aren't necessarily the most confident driver. How many of you were
nervous?
Great your first time? Were you nervous? Were you scared? Sound familiar?
Yes. I think anything
Right,
anything new that you try, you're going to be nervous. You're going to want to research. You might get some paralysis by analysis. But hopefully you guys are all driving now today and are okay drivers. But that's all with practice, right? So I think to Jared's point, anything new is scary and it doesn't feel good. It's uncomfortable. But if there's one takeaway today, and I think that you probably have heard this before, is just do it. Just try it. Just do it. Just start somewhere. You could even do it when we leave here today or in here. Yeah.
Cool.
So we'll talk about 4 things today. There's a lot to cover. This is more about making social media fun and profitable. There's a lot to cover, so we try to condense it as much as we can. So we'll cover 4 topics today. How to prepare to make videos, the types of videos that you can make, the creative process behind making videos, and then how to repurpose them. So we're going to try, it's a lot of information. We're going to try our best to try to condense everything. We will show you guys actual examples of videos that we have done. There's a broad range of them, and then we'll open it up for Q&A at the end.
Yeah, we would ask that questions be held to the end, so just drop them down in consideration of everyone's time. And we can stay a little bit later, I think, if there's more questions.
Yeah, we have time.
We'll try and
but
wrap
we want
this
to
up
be
in an hour.
mindful of your guys' time as well.
Okay, so preparation.
So how to prepare to make videos. I think a lot of people who, especially the analytical ones, are going to want to research the best camera, the best lighting, where to take videos. Should you do it? Should you have somebody do it for you? Should you hire a videographer? Should you put a filter on? There's so many things that you start, once you pick up your phone to do it, you're like, oh, well, I don't like how I look. Maybe if I add different lighting, or how am I supposed to hold it? And then you start Googling, best way to make a video. Like, you're going to get caught up in all of that. And it's okay to do a little bit of homework, but honestly, in the very beginning, just use your phone and just be yourself and just talk. Because everybody has this voyeuristic nature about them. People like to watch people no matter what they're saying, no matter what they're doing or what they're doing. It's just watching people in action. People like doing that. So if you're just talking on your camera about your son's soccer game, or you just got a new car, or you have a new listing coming up, people see your face, they're going to scroll through Instagram or Facebook, and they're going to see your face talking, especially if you're new. They're going to go, oh, I haven't seen this person talk before. What are they saying? And they're just going to watch. And whether they like it, whether they don't like it, whether they're making fun of you, it doesn't matter, because they're watching. It doesn't matter. And you know what? Haters are going to hate, okay? I'm telling you right now. I know that I have a lot of haters. I know I get critiqued, but all of that just goes out the window. I don't think about that because that would I wouldn't do it if I dwelled on all that.
So about 50% of the time you use just your camera, your phone.
I do, and then as things have progressed, I do have a videographer that I hire to do my educational On the Set with Josette series. We obviously use him for listing videos, but most of the time it's just me on my phone with maybe a filter, hopefully a filter. I'm getting older by the day.
Don't
overthink it. Just swipe a filter on there.
So in adding on to the preparation, you really have to decide what is the product that you're selling with whatever video you're doing. Are you just selling yourself, which oftentimes your brand is you, and whether it's for a specific listing or not, it's really just keeping consistent and in front of people. So your product is either yourself, maybe it's a listing, maybe it's your expertise, and I'm sure we've all seen market update videos and that sort of thing, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Additionally, who's your audience? Are we attracting buyers? Are we attracting sellers? Are we attracting other agents, which I think could probably be the most profitable section of social media if we're looking at like how much business actually comes in. Most of you guys get most of your business from referrals. That's just the way it's going to be. It's amazing to see inbound leads from other agents in other markets because they're following Josette on social media and they're like, hey, I have a client. So I think that could be a really overlooked kind of market that we can utilize social media to tap into.
Do you guys follow, have you guys heard of Taya DiCarlo?
Yep.
She's on Instagram. So she'll say that anywhere from like 50+% of her business is agent to agent referral. And it's simply because she has built this profile, she's built this brand on her social media. So when agents are searching other agents, they go, oh, Taya, she's in LA. So to Jared's point, building a referral network, and I think Lena, you're kind of in the process of that as well. You're networking with other agents. They're going to your social media and they're going, oh, this person's legit. She's credible. She knows stuff. She's doing things day to day. She has her tech tips, and so they'll reach out to you for those referrals. I just got one. It was really random. It was a realtor in Philadelphia. She had buyers here in San Diego. They were working with another agent who wasn't a great agent. And then she said, I Googled San Diego Realtor on Instagram and you popped up and I like you seem like a really fun person. They seem like it would be a good fit. So I didn't have to sell myself. My Instagram sold me to this other agent and then ultimately to her buyers. So great referral source.
And the other thing, when we're considering who the audience is, specific to listing videos, we try and look at the listing that we have, who more than likely is going to be our buyer demographic. Are they single millennials? Are they retired people? Are they families? Whomever. And we try and kind of creatively put together a video that's going to appeal to that demographic, but also show the realtor community that we're kind of creative, and ideally from outside agents get some referral business. We're going to share with you.
This was
you
a
can
listing.
Talk about this one.
This was a listing that we took in the Millennium. Sorry.
Yeah, Millennia.
The Millennia building in South Bay in Otay Ranch, and it. So we knew that this was, when we thought about the price point, we thought about what type of buyer we're going to attract. Most likely, it was going to be entry-level buyers, and maybe there was an element of millennials within that, right? So we were just thinking, why don't we make something really creative that we can blast out through our social media that's going to attract potential millennials, potential millennial home buyers. So this video was
kind of makes fun of them, but
Can you hit full screen too?
yeah.
I am live right now. I'm about to check out a house. That is what I told me to. Okay.
Hi, are you here to see the townhouse? I'm Jared with Compass.
Hey, I'm Jennifer SD. Or sorry, that's my TikTok. I'm Jennifer. You can call me Jennifer. Just don't call me Jennifer because that's what my parents call me.
Sure, whatever you prefer. Whatever you want. I'm excited to show you the property. Do you live in the area now?
I live with my parents because I don't want to get rooted or whatever. But yeah, my dad's what I keep writing about, so I'm here.
Well, I'm excited to show you the property. Come on in.
Cool.
Wait until you see this great room. You have such wonderful light from 3 different sides.
No, yeah, I get it. Can you just get out of my light? Hey, boomer.
If you have teenagers, this is real life.
Sorry. For my followers. What?
Oh, it's totally cool. It must be great having so many friends. You really got to see this covered patio. It's amazing. It's got a great view of the pool.
Cool.
Right this way.
The clicks too.
Yeah.
Who's taking you guys?
So this is a videographer that we hire that does most of our
You
stuff. You have this incredible view of the pool and the community facilities.
Cute.
Cool.
I'm really sorry, but I'm like famished. Is there somewhere where we can eat?
Oh, sure. You can sit on a big kitchen island.
That's hilarious.
Are you cool if I eat this right here? It's avocado toast.
Sure, whatever you
It's
prefer.
avocado toast.
That's cool. What's that?
Well, how do you like the space so far?
TBH, I love. I'm like basically sipping over it. It's really legit. Yeah.
Well, we should check out the upstairs. I think you're really going to like the bedroom. So you guys
Yeah,
get the
that's
general
great. Are you cool if I just like check?
idea. It was an opportunity to kind of have a fun video, but along with this listing, we also did a professional one that we kind of used for our actual listing. We definitely got the seller on board with the idea of like, let's kind of make fun of the fact that it's a millennial community, and he thought it was great. And we did get a lot of attention with this video and ended up selling to Blake's client.
Yeah, and he wasn't a millennial. He was like 30s.
But
So
he
what,
could
like 10 years
appreciate this. Well,
But he would
30's not.
I sent him this when we were in Esper. I was like, you have to see the video that took place in your condo, and he loved it.
Oh, that's funny. And he'll have that forever.
Yes.
Exactly. Little bow. So this video was really fun, and like Jared said, we did make a professional one aside from this that we could use to put on YouTube and pay for ads. It went on Google Ads as well, but this video got a lot of attention within our realtor community. It got a lot of attention from actually a couple other prospective buyers that we were working with before. So to kind of move on from that, it's really important that your content should match your brand. And if you don't know what your brand is, that's okay. I think of my brand as, what do I want people to know about me? What do I want people to think of me? For me in particular, I just try to keep it very straightforward. I'm a mom, I am a wife, I'm a realtor. We have teenagers that suck. We have a special needs child. We are very busy. We, pop around San Diego and do different things. I find humor in most things, so I just try to keep that relatable. But that's okay if you're not in that. If you would rather present yourself as a professional, polished, that's great too. If you want to present yourself as an animal lover, an animal activist, that's great too. Just kind of find out how you want to present yourself, and that should be your brand. And your brand should be consistent, and your content should match your brand. If you, if I'm trying to think of an example how it wouldn't match. Like, I wouldn't go on there and, like, I look at people who list like 11, $12 million properties. I'm like, I could never do that because I would want to do something funny. Like, I wouldn't be able to take myself seriously. Like, I wouldn't be able to help myself.
But we would find a way for a $12 million listing.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
But I think, like, picking up what she was
You're
saying,
right.
that what is the brand that you're trying to present to the world, but also how are you viewed by your clients? Are you relatable and funny? Are you more of an educator? Whatever that is, lean into it.
Are you analytical? Are you, do you like numbers? You like to present numbers and graphs and data and statistics? There's no wrong answer. You just should kind of dig a little bit deeper and find out how you want to be portrayed, and then stay consistent with it and make sure the content matches that. Once you establish your brand, write it down. So kind of figure out what it is and elaborate on that. Write it down. Actors use scripts, newscasters read a teleprompter. If you want to sound polished and professional, be prepared. We write our scripts down, we rehearse them, we go back and forth, we edit them. While we're rehearsing, we'll make changes. There's actually an app too that you can use. What's it called? The Smart Prompt?
Smart Prompt is a teleprompter app, which you guys might write down. They have a free version, but the main one is like $20. But it will Smart Prompt. It connects through the app. It connects to your video, and all your screen just runs
it actually,
the script
as you're
that
looking,
you're saying. But you're looking at the camera. It doesn't look like you're reading a script. It looks like you're looking right at the camera, and you can adjust how quickly it moves. You can adjust the font size and all of that. So I find it particularly helpful if I'm using like an iPad to shoot because it is so big. But it works perfectly on your phone as well. So if you have a lot of content you want to get out, or something you want to say that you're not going to commit to memory, Prompt Smart is really, really helpful with that.
And if you do that, if you go that route of not memorizing key points, just do the key points on the teleprompter, because the cringiest thing is watching somebody read. When people sound scripted, you're not engaging with it. It's not authentic, and it's hard to engage and actually listen to what they're saying. But if you have those key points that you're hitting and you can elaborate on those, that's okay. And let the video run for 3 minutes, because you can always edit it. You can always cut it down. So what we actually do is we'll set up the camera. Actually, I think you probably saw it yesterday in our video. We'll just keep going. We'll start recording, we'll mess up, and we'll just keep going. We're not going to stop the video every time, because we know that we can go back and cut it, because that's kind of the labor of it, is like, oh, I got to start all over. Oh, are you ready? It's just set it up and just start going.
Cut out the piece that you want.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
To piggyback on what Josette was talking about earlier, just do it. Just go out and make a video. It's not hard. It might be scary, but once you start trying it out, you acclimate really quickly. And the best way to find your niche really in social media is try things. Try and fail. Try and learn. Try and succeed. Go out there and get them.
You go out there and, yeah, your first couple videos, I found an old video that I did. It was the first listing video that I did. And I can't even play it because it's so bad, but I had a listing, so I used a green screen and played like the photos of the listing behind me, and I was in front like talking.
You were floating in the sky at one point too.
At one point. There were like clouds behind me. It was so bad, but this was
great at the time.
It was my first video, and I was like so proud of it. And then 6 years later, I look back at it and I just cringe. But you have to start somewhere. If I didn't do that video and try it, I thought I was very cutting edge at that time. If I didn't try it, I probably wouldn't continue to do video. So just start somewhere. We talk about videos, but you guys are probably sitting here like, where do I start? What kind of videos do I do? The easiest video to do is a listing video. If you guys have a listing, there's no reason that you guys shouldn't do a listing video. It's an opportunity to brand yourself, promote yourself through marketing, and then also use that listing video to show your next prospective seller what you do. So even if you're not comfortable on camera, there's different ways to do listing videos without being front and center.
You can do voiceover and just have the whole, just write a little script and do voiceover. I didn't mean to cut you off. But.
You could be walking in the home doing things, not talking, not looking at the camera, but it shows that you're there. You could be opening the door with a beautiful smile on your face and just direct the camera right past you. You're putting yourself in the video along with that property. And again, the video will be polished because it'll be a professional videographer, which we highly recommend for all listing videos. Don't try to get away with it on your iPhone. There's a difference.
It absolutely shows.
There is absolutely a difference.
And one of the things that we do then with any listing video is to spend money to get views on YouTube, because in our next listing presentation, we're going to say, this is the last one we did. It had 50,000 views. They don't need to know that that wasn't organic. It does make you look like you're getting extra exposure. And it costs what, $50?
Yeah,
like you're going to spend $1,000 on photos and video on your listing, which you all should be, by the way. It's like embarrassing how low the standard is in the real estate market. But shell out an extra $50. You're going to make a $30,000 commission.
Good point. Jared's fired up about that one.
Well, it's funny. I had this conversation with a real estate agent that came into one of our open houses that we saw staged. And I start going, we're talking about realtors, and I go, God, it's so pathetic. People don't put up professional photos. They don't even take the time to get the dishes out of the sink. She listed the property next door 2 hours the next day, and there's 6 pictures from her iPhone, all dirty laundry, cars in the driveway. I mean, just garbage.
Yes.
And what a shock. The hottest sales market in history, she's still on the market 2 weeks later. So, anyways,
it makes a difference.
It does make a difference. So on the topic of listing videos, we try and you know, you have to take a look at like what it is that you're going to do.
We try to catch their attention because you guys probably are following other realtors on social media, and the content can be redundant. You're going to see the same thing. What I don't love is when I don't like our listing videos to start with a drone shot, because I think every single one of them starts with that drone shot and it's for like 4 seconds, and I'm going to scroll right past it because I don't care what it looks like from a drone view. I'm not a bird. I don't care. If it's by the water, maybe, great. But if it's just in a community, like on a street, I don't care.
Here was our problem that we ran into with this listing, is that it was very plain. There were no upgrades in this home. It was a nice community, new construction in 2020, but there was nothing that really stood out about this house.
I don't know if I want to play this.
Yeah, Josette's going to leave the room for a minute. We're only going to play the intro, which was really just a hook. It was like, how are we going to get people's eyes on this listing when, frankly, it was just boring. Why is there...
I just need to find a house for you.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Come here. I've got something for you. I've got something hot. It actually might be too hot for you. Oh, you think you can handle it? Okay. Well, look, we'll have to be quick. We don't have a lot of time. Did you come prepared? Wow. That is the biggest pre-approval I have ever seen. Well, now that I have your attention, welcome to 2605 Suite.
It was like, it's a way to grab someone's attention, right? I can promise you people watched
Yeah,
that.
my husband loved that.
Yeah.
Sounds like a porno.
Yeah,
That was the whole point, right? Like,
yeah.
we need to hook this one.
Music, totally.
The seller had a very good sense of humor as well, so we ran up, you know, Josette explained that this was something
Yeah, I
we
guess
were
if
doing.
the
He was
person's
on
like
board.
old school, you have to make
Yeah,
sure
you gotta know who
know
you're-
your seller.
your
That's
seller.
very important. But he was on board, and he's like, I don't care, just sell my house. And I was like, okay.
Which we were going to do anyways, right? We wouldn't have needed to do a video. His house would sell.
Did you explain it to him like it's just going to be funny, or did you say like we're going to pretend like, and then did he watch it? And then I just have to know.
He knows me. He trusts me.
Okay, so that's good.
For somebody that we don't know, we don't go that risque. If we don't know them that well, we will do something maybe creative, maybe add some humor in it, but we always run it by them first with the idea of like, hey, here's what we plan to do. Are you okay with this? And they're usually tickled. Like they'll watch the video and be like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. So we try to, but that was probably like the sexiest one we've ever done. I don't think I'll go any further than that. It was so uncomfortable.
There's also, we had a professional one for this as well, which was attached to the listing. This was just used on social media. And that goes to the next point, which is just to utilize your property to do a couple different style of videos. We can do a professional one, but then we can find something that's just kind of fun about the property. And we usually go to the seller for like, what is it about this house that's really awesome, in your opinion?
What do you love about it? Where do you spend the most time? What is your favorite memory in the home? And that will help us find that little selling point or just the creative point to implement into a video.
That appeals to the seller. It shows that you listened to what they were saying, and then they're very proud of it because you already know that this is their #1 feature. So in this case, it was that they had this nice park-like backyard that was very private, and that's where they spent basically the entire summer eating outdoors, having parties, etc. So we did a professional listing video, but then we did this little guy.
Well, they had also they had a detached casita, and that was they
were using it as an Airbnb.
Exactly, and so we were trying to find a way to sell it without just being so straightforward. We wanted to be creative, and so we came up with a little skit to add to the beginning of the video.
Were you sleeping?
But yeah,
What's wrong
the
with
yard
you?
just looks so inviting.
Yeah, okay. Well, we gotta shoot this video for our listing.
What? Right, let me just get my bags.
Bags for
Big
hold on,
bags.
bags for what? Where did you stay last night?
In the little hotel room.
What hotel room?
The one right here.
Jared, that's not a hotel room. That's the casita. That's the detached guest house for this property that we're listing. You can't stay there. You slept there?
Yeah, I mean, it was filled with luxurious linens and coffee maker.
Of course, they're great hosts. This is a vacation rental that they've been doing.
This is what you were talking about when you said income-producing asset.
Yes, this is it.
Okay, let me get my bags.
And let me tell you, in the high season, this is a cash cow. And a little secret, in San Diego, it's always high season.
That's a fact.
So So that was just a fun little hook intro into the next professional one. And just to give you an example of like, okay, so how did the professional one then look? It was very, I don't want to say basic, but it's kind of what you'd expect from a listing video, and this was attached to.
Seen at 5309 Collier Avenue in the heart of El Cerrito, with favorable proximity to San Diego State University, Mission Valley, North Park, and all that San Diego Metro has to offer.
This home is situated on a large private lot and consists of a 2-bedroom, 2-bath main house, a 1-bedroom guest house with ensuite bath, abundant natural light, hard surface flooring throughout, and so much more.
We are so excited to bring you guys through this property. Come check it out.
Okay.
So the nice part is about so with our professional videographer that we use for listings, he will do this professional video, and for the skit, he'll film the skit and then he'll add all of this onto it. So it's not that much more work for him, so he doesn't charge that much extra, right? He's not shooting another video entirely. He already has the B-roll of the interior of the property and the exterior and the drone. He's just changing the beginning.
The other
and
thing
maybe the music.
To note about using the same videographer and developing a relationship, he understands what style we typically go for, and he has great ideas, and he knows what's going to look good on video. So he almost directs in a certain sense, or will say, I have a really great idea about how you could do this intro. What if you do this and you do this? And it usually, like, that collaboration starts, but we wouldn't have that if we were just using whomever Curb 360 decided to send out, you know?
Well, and to Jared's point, we have deviated from our videographer before, and it was, bless you, the videos were subpar. Like audio, the music was too loud, like there were just these little subtle differences. The microphone they were using, it was just, we noticed it, we were just like, oh, it was terrible.
People are used to what we put out, and you're going to get that consistency if you utilize the same person. And incidentally, like drone, video, photo, everything like out the door, what are we spending on a place? Like $1,200?
Yeah.
Which, you know, we're talking about selling a $1 million place. That's not a huge investment on behalf of your clients.
No, and it's like we mentioned before, it's for your brand too. You have to promote this stuff to show that you are doing business, to show that you're a professional and you list properties in a professional manner. I was going to say we actually have 2 videographers. One that's really good at editing, more of that kind of flashy transitions, like kind of more of that kind of social media Instagram style that you see and that you're like, whoa, that's really cool. And then we have one, his name's Jeff, who helps us with these more creative ones. We've tried to use the other one in our creative videos, and he doesn't quite understand how we work, so he doesn't have a lot of direction, or there are things that we notice where we're like, oh, I wish he would have told us that we were standing that way, or, you know, he just doesn't quite understand that. So we do have 2 videographers that we use depending on what type of video.
The other thing we like about Jeff that's fun is that he does a blooper reel for us too, which can be additional content that we put out later. So we're utilizing pieces of all of these listings to create more content, and the blooper reels were some of the most popular stuff that you got. I will save you guys from having to endure the bloopers, but
we were in tears watching one yesterday from like a couple years ago.
It would probably only be funny to us, but it was hilarious.
It was, yeah. But the blooper ones are also a good way for your audience to get to know you, because they see you messing. They see you being a human. They see you messing up. They see you, fumbling over your words or whatever. People like watching that kind of stuff.
So aside from listing videos, do you want to talk about brand and entertainment?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I do.
I do.
So we, aside from listing videos, we try to implement what we think is funny. So everybody's humor is different, right? Have you guys seen or watched Between Two Ferns with Zach?
Has everyone seen that?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we thought
anyone who hasn't seen that, I'm going to play just a 1-minute clip so you can understand what we mimicked this off of.
Who's the guest in this one?
Keanu Reeves.
So this is but just to kind of give you, so this is very dry humor. It's very sarcastic. It's very roasty. So these people come onto this show and they just get roasted by this guy.
And this was something, well, we'll talk about when you came up with this. Sort of.
You just have to press play.
Oh, just press play, is that all?
Yeah, you just have to press play.
Technically savvy, generally.
Super famous. I love it. Keanu.
Hi, welcome to another edition of Between Two Ferns. I'm your host, Keanu Reeves. I'm your host, Zach Galifianakis, and my guest today is Keanu Reeves. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me here.
On a scale of 1 to 100, how many words do you know?
100.
Do you know 50 words? Do you know 75 words? Do you know 18 words? Is it frustrating to have people think of you as a complete bozo? When the truth is that you're just a man with below average intelligence. You have a big scar right here from a motorcycle accident.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Is it, where is it?
It goes from here.
Big one. God, that big. I have a similar scar on my leg.
From what?
Walked out of the movie Lake House. The seat in front of me. I understand that you had to have your peen removed.
What?
Your peen?
My peen? I mean my spleen.
Ah, darn it. I was hoping I could have it. Peen, not spleen. Do you research your roles?
Yeah.
Have you ever considered researching a character that has taken acting classes?
So you get the idea. This was something Josette came up with when we were kind of in the height of the market in early 2022, and we didn't have time to make, it was just sort of a brainstorming thing, but this kind of goes into keeping like a note thing on your phone of ideas that pop into your head. Because she goes, God, wouldn't it be funny to do this with real estate agents?
Like you and me sit on each side
Yeah,
and just
like-
roast.
Have two agent, yeah. And then we were thinking, well, it would be fun to like roast people that drive us crazy in the real estate business. So I don't know how many of you guys saw this, but
we recreated this. We call it Between Two Agents instead of Between Two Ferns, and we are roasting an underwriter.
Loan
A
underwriter.
loan underwriter.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So here. Exactly what an undertaker does.
It's underwriter.
It's just that.
So, you see how annoying these little mistakes are? My job as the underwriter is to calculate everything going on, all the transactions, to help look at the bank's risk when they do these transactions.
Cost so much?
Gary, I wish I could say it was a pleasure. You must understand that your job carries a rather unsavory reputation for derailing real estate transactions. So I think the audience would like to know, has it always been your desire to crush the hopes and dreams of hardworking Americans?
I don't crush dreams, Jared. I assess the bank's risk.
Isn't the real risk wearing those shoes here? Larry?
My name is Gary.
Did you ask him about his childhood yet?
That's a good point. Larry, how did you cope with being the least favorite child?
Okay, so for your information, I'm an only child, and it's Gary.
That actually makes more sense. Yeah, the entitlement carries into adulthood.
Are you guys going to ask me any relevant questions, or is this just an opportunity to bag on me because I'm an underwriter?
I'm leaning towards the latter.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But please excuse my partner, Jared. He's over here throwing softballs. I'm here for the hard-hitting questions.
Okay.
So let's get back to it. Satan. Are you often confused for him?
Okay, so since we're going to ask real hard-hitting questions here, do you guys ever tell your clients when you double-end deals?
Your mom double-ends deals. Gary, back to it. Isn't it true that the Pfizer Corporation gives you a quarterly bonus for independently increasing the demand for Xanax?
The only demand from Xanax is coming from this ridiculous questioning. Are we about done here?
Yes, just about, Perry. But first, I think the audience would like to know why you don't have any friends.
Okay, it's Gary.
Noted.
Is it your face? Your lack of friends?
Well, I think it's because he's either a ginger or just how his face looks.
Yeah, it's sort of like, I don't know, it's like you got hit in the face with a bag full of nickels.
Just like drop on his face or something. I don't know.
Right.
There's something about it. I don't know.
I think we're done here. I thought you guys had a serious interest in my profession, and you guys are just using me as a punching bag.
Oh, does it remind you of when your dad was around?
He didn't have a father.
You guys get the point. That was just an idea of something that was non-real estate related, really. Like, it wasn't a listing video, it wasn't a market update, it wasn't like
How'd you
tips.
find Larry, Gary, and Perry?
Actually, he's a client of mine.
He was excited to
and he
come
has
out.
a really good sense of humor, and he was
Yeah.
like, I want to do it. So
That's
we
awesome.
actually, Sean, we did 4 episodes when we filmed this. So that's another thing that we do when we have an idea like this, try and like knock out a few of them. Because we're going to hire a videographer to come shoot it. So Sean was one of our guests. You
That was
played
the last one, and then it got
home
0
buyer.
views, and you guys stopped it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was,
No, that's
it
not
was
true.
it was kind of true. No, I'm just kidding. But we did, yeah. Ricky Silver was the
Oh, he
luxury
was-
real estate agent
yeah.
douchebag. Like we just kind of had some fun with it.
Honestly, it's fun. I know it's like, you know, a lot of people are like, well, if it's not making me money, I don't want to do it. But it really does kind of shake up the redundancy of real estate. It's fun.
And it
It's
gets
like
you more followers.
People watch it and they comment and they remember it. So it's definitely a way to stand out.
So this didn't get produced until the summer of 2022, but as you guys remember, that was like a really dead time. So we took that opportunity to make a couple of the fun videos that we'd had kind of in the back of our minds that we didn't have an opportunity to shoot. And that was the result.
And then we did another one that was
with
actually kind of, you know, entertainment-wise.
This was Blake's idea, which we have to give credit to. She said, what if you did a dating show and the people that were on this blind date were actually listings, like a for sale by owner or like a expired listing back on market?
Yeah.
Investor delight. And we came up with this one, which was fun.
We used my husband's restaurant where he worked at the time.
So this is if a flipped property was on a date.
I mean, hi. You look a lot different than your photos online.
Oh, I'm recently flipped. I haven't taken new pictures yet. Oh, just call me Flip for short.
Wow, sounds like a dolphin in SeaWorld.
Oh, you exude so much charm, just like my remodeled kitchen.
Okay, sorry. Maybe we got off on the wrong foot here. My apologies. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I was in a relationship for 40 years and really let myself go. My husband passed away in the garage last year. I know I have to disclose that. So I did a few renovations and I am back on the market. I actually brought the scope of work so you can look at all of my upgrades.
Oh, I'm aware of your sizzle features.
Whoa. What paint and drywall hasn't set yet, buddy? Slow down. So I didn't get a chance to reline my cast iron sewer pipes, and it's been a while since they've been hydrojetted. But the instructor said they can last up to 100 years.
That's pretty impressive. So that actually reminds me, I did see your age online. What year were you built?
Oh, a real lady doesn't share her age, but you know the old adage, they don't build them like they used to. I'm not used to this new feature.
You know, I'm a little bit more concerned about the foundation. Are there any issues I need to know about?
No, baby. I am as stable as an IKEA table. But look, you know what? I'll call you when my drywall sets, okay? Great to meet you.
How do you think the date went? I'm all for new and improved, and quite frankly, I was really impressed with some of her features. However, I know with some of these flips, there's some things that concern me, like her foundation, for instance.
Excuse me, ma'am. Exit interview. How do you think it went?
Needless to say, I think he was impressed. I mean, most people that see me are impressed with my renovations, if you will. But I'm really holding out for somebody who appreciates everything about my upgrades, and I'm just waiting for the right buyer.
Today we're joined.
We had like a list of things.
So embarrassing.
But it was just an idea of like things that we could do that were outside of the box. We collaborated with Blake because we were all in the office together, which is supposed to be kind of our
And it's
mantra.
fun
So it
to
is kind of
collab
fun
with
to,
other agents.
Really is.
There's a sense of community in this office, and it's fun.
We shot 4 videos during that shoot, and we were all 4 agents were able to then utilize that on our social media. And I think it was, this is all stuff that can be
People
recycled
keep
later
asking
as
when
well.
the next episodes
I
are
know.
coming out.
It has
I was
like a following.
I know.
Yeah.
It's fun. So under different types of videos, there's educational videos that you can do, and you're probably seeing a lot of realtors do that right now, and I think it's great. I think that when you show value, when you offer knowledge, it's a good thing for people to become engaged with. Right now, I feel like there's a trend where everybody kind of looks the same as they talk about it. Like it's the same kind of font, it's the same kind of talking head. So don't be afraid to change it up. If you want to do that and just use that as a template, that's great. If you want to be more creative and maybe you're walking around doing something while you're sharing some, market updates, or, whether you need 20% down to buy a home, just get creative with it. I do a series called On the Set with Josette, and it went from long form video, like they were like a minute to 3 minutes each, and now they've been condensed to 60 seconds because people's attention spans have shrunk in that, the last couple years. So, but it's a really good way for me to create a library that I then direct my new buyers to and say, hey, here's a lot of things that we're going to talk about. feel free to watch these videos. And then again, it just adds credibility to who you are. Like, oh, she's a professional. She does, she knows a lot.
How do you come up with your topics?
I go through lists of questions that buyers have asked me, and also things that we go over in like a buyer consultation. Same with sellers, experience with clients. Like, how do you know what to ask for on a request for repair? What should you do a home inspection? What other type of inspections should you do? How long does a cast iron pipe last you? Like, you can do big topics, and then you can shrink them down into micro topics, because you only really need to speak for 30 seconds. Because people, they don't watch that long. It's, unfortunately, we're in this like nature of short attention spans. People want quick information. They want, if they're not entertained, they're just going to keep scrolling.
Speaking of that, just kidding.
Oh.
But you can see also the branding on the side. These are her on the set with Josette videos. They all have a consistent lead shot with a picture of her over her, and it's got the same intro, same outro. So just the consistency there, I think, really works well, and it paints you as an expert, which is nice.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Do you want to talk about the creative brainstorming?
So yeah, creative brainstorming is something that can be challenging, and I think it intimidates people, because you're like, where do I even start with this, and how do I do something different if I don't really know what to say? We had specifically a listing, and I'll play it just because it is kind of one of our more creative ones. But here was our obstacle. We had a seller with basically a fixer-upper. It needed to be completely redone. The only thing that was new was a swimming pool, which had been done like 5 years earlier or 10 years earlier. It was in really good shape, but the house was just not well taken care of.
But the tough part was that it was a mid-century gem. Like, this home hadn't been touched. Maybe the counters had been updated at some point, but there were so many elements of mid-century charm, and it was in the wrong neighborhood.
And
it just didn't make sense.
It had been in a rental for 10 years, and it was a weird location, but it had a lot of. Our thought was like, we're gonna have to sell this to an investor. That was really the target market, but the seller clearly was like, oh, this house is so great. This is the reason my mother bought it. We just redid the pool. So you're like, I can't really list it as a fixer when the seller thinks it's not a fixer. We did convince him, or you convinced him, to repaint the place.
We repainted, we recarpeted, and we did staging.
He didn't use concierge, but he could have. But
right.
that was a pitch that you made, and then he paid for it. But it was like $6,000, or no, 10.
I think it was 10.
Painting was 6, and then like flooring, and so he didn't spend a whole lot of money on it. I don't think we had before and after shots of this property, but Josette's concept for this was like, really what we have to pitch is that this is an unspoiled work of art. Somebody just needs to come in with a little vision and bring it back to its original splendor. So we came up with the idea of going back in time.
This will be the last video we play for you guys too, don't worry.
There are times in our business when you come across something truly unique and special, and today we're so excited to bring to you 1834 Grove Road in El Cajon.
The old adage, they don't build them like they used to, is truly apparent when you look at the style and attention to the detail of this breathtaking home. While left in its nearly original condition, it truly feels like a work of art.
Walking into this home is like stepping into a bygone era, one reminiscent of the hit show Mad Men, when style and sophistication ushered in a new type of home, one that's sought after today still.
Let's go take a step back into time.
Let's do it.
This spacious split-level home has everything you could want for the modern family. Your gal will feel like a queen in this spacious homemaker's kitchen, complete with an automatic dishwasher and in-sync-o-matic garbage disposal. And when the little lady isn't in the kitchen, she can enjoy an evening martini with her fella next to the stone fireplace.
Smoking and drinking in every scene.
Don't forget about the special vanity area in the bathroom. It even has a bidet. So European. Would you look at those picture windows capturing the majestic mountains to the east? This really is something. My favorite part is the backyard swimming pool and built-in barbecue.
Oh, it's so good.
And the terrace backyard leaves room to grow kitchen herbs and rose bushes. Take a look at that separate little house over there, would you? It looks like it could be an office. Do you think one day people might actually work from home? Ha! Silly, ain't it?
Wow. So that was, just an idea of like how we took something like a perceived negative and really turned it into a positive. And the bigger success story about this particular video, it was when the market was still hot. I mean, it still went up, but we were going to get multiple offers. We monetized this.
16 off.
We had like, we monetized this, paid through Instagram, through YouTube, through Facebook. We blasted it to Northern California, so we hit markets like San Jose, San Francisco, Seattle, LA.
We ended up getting a young female
CFO
from San Francisco, and she came down and she's like, I never would have considered El Cajon, but this home is exactly what
Came
I
up
want.
on her feet. Like she was looking in San Diego with a real estate agent, but she was definitely not looking in El Cajon on Mount Merritt in the east, you know what I mean? And had no idea about it. Incidentally, she paid $40,000 more than our highest offer with the waived appraisal. It was crazy. I mean, it was a huge success story.
Yeah.
So, and we use this story now, obviously, anytime we do a pitch with a seller. Is that going to happen every time? This was like a unicorn situation, but it's still something that we can use to
But
pitch
it really
ourselves.
shows like where we believe in the power of video. Like, this is where we believe that you take that extra step and you make a little bit more effort and you really sell the home. Like, we can all throw it on the MLS, but really sell what the home is, the product, and what the seller wants you to sell it for. That's really important. I think we can probably skip through. We kind of talked about the other stuff.
Repurposing.
Voiceover for that.
So that was actually our videographer, who originally I was going to do it and like put on an accent, but I don't know if you could tell in there. I was sick and I was like, I could barely talk. So
he did a great job.
But that's like John Mulaney, you know?
Yes, he totally did.
Yeah.
So we're happy to share like our videographer's information. We're not trying to, keep them close to our chest. We're happy to share any information. We kind of want to open it up to you guys. If you guys are stuck on a listing, video idea, or any
Does anyone have a listing they haven't done a video for yet?
Or an upcoming listing?
Upcoming listing, anything? We just thought we could kind of go through the creative process together if somebody had something to pitch, but if not, I mean, no.
Yeah, we have a listing.
What is it like?
It's not, it's not.
I can talk about it.
Okay, yeah.
I know it a little better. So it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It is a little dark inside. It is in Carmel Valley.
Condo?
It is a condo, underground parking. The good things about it is very spacious. Obviously, washer and dryer inside. It's probably, I think it was a condo conversion, so there's granite countertops like from the 1990s, probably.
Is it close to anything?
It's a great location.
Off
It's
the
just
five?
across the street of Highlands, Juan Paseo.
Okay.
So it is incredibly located.
What's the negatives?
Dark.
Besides being dark.
It is dark on the first floor, and has 2 great patios.
So what if you did a video where somebody is out and about at all the amenities that are close by, shopping, eating, working, and they get home and all they want to do is they want to be reclusive and they want everything to shut down. They want it
cozy.
Yes. So you kind of take that negative of it being too dark and you kind of make it a positive that you can be so close to the hustle and bustle, you can be so connected with everybody, you can be lively, but when you want to shut down, which a lot of people do want to shut down, you have a space for them to do that and make that space very cozy and not dark and cavey.
Carmel Valley has the best schools around, right? And it's a first floor unit. So one of the kind of styles that we've done videos in the past where we want to really like express a lot of benefits to a home, but not really sure how to show that with with action is like Josette calling me or me calling her and saying, I just can't find a property for this client. He's 80 years old, so he can't do stairs. He needs a condo. He wants to be close to everything, but he hates noise. And his grandkids live with him, so they need A+ schools. What the hell am I going to do? And then it's like boom, 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 boom. Here's all the, you know what I mean? So that's one way that you could kind of go about.
Yeah, we did that.
But this is kind of how we just back and forth brainstorm, like what's good, what's bad, how do we spin the bad to a good.
And then if it really was like across the street from one paseo, I would even have your videographer have like you or whoever walking from the one paseo to the unit and then have it like sped up.
That's a good
idea. So
idea.
then it looks like, oh, look how close it is to the unit. Like
we've done that with the one that was close to the beach, the condo in La Jolla.
That was a really good one. Yeah, we just had him videotape. I mean, it took like probably 10 minutes for us to walk from this condo to the beach, but in the video it was like a 3-second thing, and it's like, wow, we're right here. So just kind of a general idea about brainstorming and the creative process, but I would think like the videographer that we typically use would probably have good ideas as well, because he does oftentimes, if you have kind of a foundation of what it is that you want to pitch, he's like, ooh, because he sees all these other realtors doing things, he knows what works and what doesn't.
But what do you do when it's like, for example, if the place, like your client doesn't want to do any changes, he just wants to sell it as is, and it's not, decorated. Like,
are they living there?
Yeah, how do you make it look pretty?
Can you convince them to do some soft staging?
Even soft staging, will they do that? Let you come in with, this goes in line with like, we're going to spend $1,200 to video and shoot a house. Spend a couple $100 and have some generic pictures and fake plants on hand. Mm-hmm. And that's what we do with almost every listing we have.
For an owner-occupied property that's not super cute and staged how you'd want it to be, you can soft stage it, and you can take on that cost yourself to do it, because it's going to help the property sell for more money, and you're going to make that money up in your commission.
And you're going to look good to your client, and you're going to keep the stuff for later.
It might just be a matter of putting on a different bedspread and putting up new pillows and putting up a couple pictures and some plants. It's not like a full stage. You're not bringing in couches or chairs. It's really, pillows. Like, it's just little, what do they call them? Like zhuzhing. You kind of zhuzh the space.
It's amazing how much better a space can look, even when there was nothing particularly wrong with it. That sweet spring sexy video. Single guy, no style. We're just, Josette has in her kind of pre-listing thing, a request that everything just be removed from the counters, and then we just come in, fake plants,
couple spoons,
some towels, little things, a couple of pieces of art, and it totally makes the pictures online just pop where they wouldn't have before. So
I'm going to piggyback on that, because I took Josette with me on a listing appointment once, and it was also it is occupied, and so one of the other ideas too, that's a good one, is having them like declutter. So like if they have a garage or something where they can, at least box up some stuff, they're going to be moving anyways at some point. So maybe the place kind of needs a little bit more decluttering, because sometimes less is more too.
Absolutely.
Worst case scenario, if you were trying to convince, if they were resistant to it, you could show them recently probably, here's a place that didn't, that was cluttered and really overfilled, and here's a place that was staged. There was a $30,000 difference in price. Is it worth 30 grand to pack up your shit and put it in the garage? Probably, right?
In this case, it's completely decluttered. They don't have anything.
So you just need to bring stuff in.
Bring in some color. Some color,
so
some throws, some pillows.
Spend like $400. You can get pictures, plants, pillows, and then keep it for your next listings. We have this like little small storage of like, we have a ton of stuff that we just have accumulated that we've used in our listings.
And it really blows the clients away. They're like, wow, like they don't realize that a couple of little things really changes the whole perception and vibe of the house.
Yeah, we can open this up to Q&A.
Yeah, for other questions.
I have a question. So what about, how would you guys create some kind of video content for yourself, for your brand, if you have a buyer? Like for buyers, how would you do that?
I think on the set with Josette is a really good example of that.
I would do educational videos. I would do short educational videos that talk about what a buyer's interested in. How much does their down payment need to be? Do they do a home inspection and when? How to research an area. Like, what are some different resources to use when you're unfamiliar with an area?
What about if you have an active buyer that you're like showing properties to, and then you get into escrow, and then you
like, how can you make video off of that? Oh my gosh. So I would video every home tour that you go on. And
video
just
your consultation with them initially. Tell them what you want to do. Like, I want to video the process.
Okay.
Or if you just want to take advantage of that transaction and make content out of it, just take video at every step. So when you're touring properties,
home inspection.
when you call them when they get their offer accepted, somebody else can record you on that phone call. Do video at the home inspection, handing off keys, and then you can do like a testimonial at the end with them if you wanted to at the property after you give them keys. The final walkthrough. And then there was something else I was going to say. Oh, you can be with them while they sign loan docs and record that and just make.
This can be really just you talking. Like, we're here at the doc signing. I'm so excited for my client. It doesn't have to even be long or in depth.
Or even like the voiceover thing that you've done before.
So if you put all those videos together and condense them into like a 30-second video, and you can just you do the voiceover where you're not talking in the video, but when you actually upload the video, you can go on there and go, I'm so excited for my new buyers. We started off by touring 6 homes. They made an offer. It didn't get accepted on the first one, but here we are at their offer got accepted on this one. They love it because it has a pool. I help them with, signing loan documents. I'm just so excited for this family. And then that's it. You don't have to be on camera.
Have you made reels like that with Instagram where you have background music and then you voice over it? It's super easy. I'm technically challenged, and she showed me how to do it.
I think I have before. I can't.
If you need help, let me know. I'll show you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's easy. Are you guys mostly on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok? Just curious.
Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, so not many TikTokers in here. So one thing to know, I know that we're coming up on time. I learned that the apps know how much time you spend in it. So my TikTok is nothing near my Instagram because I don't spend time in TikTok. Because my daughter does, and it feels weird that I'm like in the same app as her. But I spend time in Instagram, and Instagram knows that, so they feed my videos to other people's algorithm more. Any video that you take, you should just get in a habit of cross-posting to all platforms every single time. But whatever platform you're spending the most time in is where your video will be played the most. So that's something to be mindful of. But you can build a TikTok right now with videos that you've done in the past, or anytime you post a new video, just upload it to TikTok and just let it sit there.
Cross-platform.
And if you don't have time for that, you can hire like your nephew or someone that's younger generation that doesn't have a problem doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys, so what about YouTube? So you guys put everything on YouTube, but then you share them? Like, how do you put them on Instagram and Facebook and all that?
Individual uploads. So you go to each platform and upload it. The ones that we pay for are on YouTube. YouTube has YouTube video and YouTube Shorts now. Shorts act as a reel. I've gotten a lot of organic views on my YouTube Shorts, but I don't spend enough time in there for it to like go viral, I guess. Sean, you've actually gone viral recently. I don't know if you guys know this.
Did you guys see his Instagram? You should talk about it because it's kind of interesting.
It's interesting.
We're trying to copy you.
We can never figure out what the algorithm is in any app. There's just no way. People are like, oh, is it hashtags? Is it video? Is it how I shoot the video? Is it camera facing forward versus this? Like, there's so many different things that people want to know. But Sean uploaded a few videos of him just doing
like Lisa
stuff.
videoing him fixing a ceiling fan.
Just doing just a couple of funny lines, like we're
just kind of going back and forth.
It shows your relationship, and there's authenticity behind the video.
Authentic.
Yeah, it seems very authentic. It's like, what are you doing, honey? And he's
scripted.
like, well, I'm fixing this thing. Do you know how it broke? No, oh gosh, I have no idea. He got like 25,000 on one, 15,000 on another. It was crazy.
On YouTube?
On Instagram.
On Instagram.
But it was just a very basic.
There's no rhyme or reason. We're trying to figure it out.
There's really no wrong answer either. Just do it. Just do it. Yeah, there was nothing fancy about yours. It was just it was very real.
Very real.
Which could be the same thing with like your buyer video, it could just be the real process of going through a transaction.
Just one last question. Because like sometimes you try to figure out like how much real estate do I want to talk about in my real estate, and like it's all in the brand. And I find like lately I've been trying different things and trying to get people from the passions that I have: gardening, wine, food. And what is the percentage rate of like how you do real estate? Do you do like 80% real estate, and then 20% of what you're passionate about? Like say you want to talk about your kids, or say you want to talk about
That's a really good question.
Humor or
I think that there probably is a formula you should follow that I don't. I try to keep my stuff as real as can be. So if I have a thought or I want to do something, I'm just going to do it. And I'm not going to go back and go, oh, I posted 6 real estate videos. I should probably post like a personal one. It's kind of on the fly, to be honest with you. I wish I had a better answer, but I would say even if you went 50-50 at this point, you'd be totally fine.
I think a lot of people like to see things that are non-real estate related even from their agent, whether it's you cooking or traveling or just being a mom, whatever. It's interesting for people to peer into your life.
Too much real estate can be a turnoff to a lot of people. Like if it's just real estate, people
Market
are going to
update
go
every Tuesday. No offense to Jeff, but then I'm just kidding. It's boring.
You want people to connect with you. So what do you like to do? What are you all about?
Well, in the other side, your kind of videos, the videos you have that they are real estate related, it doesn't need to be real estate. They're funny, so it doesn't really matter if the topic is real estate.
And they know you're in real estate.
So
too.
I think that's how you can actually add real life with real estate.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
I mean, I really don't care about other people's listings, how they show them, and all those kind of things. But if I see yours, it's kind of funny, and I stay there to actually know exactly what's going on. It's not about real estate for me.
Here's an example of this with a very authentic. This is his personality. His clients know and love him.
This is Ricky.
But this is like insane.
Agent.
I wouldn't think to do this, but his clients love it, and he does business. So he does Rockin' with Ricky, where he cooks in his kitchen.
Crockpot edition. Now, if you're anything like us, you have a busy schedule today. And my wife typically comes home with a bad case of the Mondays, which is not conducive to me getting to see her naked. So, I like to make crazy. And because I'm so busy, I don't have time to do the gourmet shit that I usually do. So, like, we're going to do an easy one-pot crock-pot meal today. Now, in here, I've got a couple cans of cream of chicken, some chicken broth, minced garlic, pepper, salt. I'm going to put 3 cups of brown rice. We got a little cup of chopped onions. Now, I hate onions, but my wife loves onions, and I love my wife's butt.
So it's like not typically what someone would think from a real estate video, but this is an agent that does a lot of business, and his clients know and love him.
And
so
he doesn't put out he doesn't do any real estate videos. He just,
it's always this stuff. Him and his kids,
Ricky.
him messing around with his wife, him cooking. It's funny, and it appeals to his brand.
And he's okay with if he got a referral, if somebody went to his page and didn't like him, he wouldn't want to work with him. And he's okay, like, I'm not going to try to impress people. So that's his brand, is just...
When he started instituting boundaries in his business grew exponentially. Where he was like, I don't work after 7 o'clock, and you will not be able to reach me on a Sunday. And all of a sudden his business increased. I mean, it just goes to show, like, when you really identify who you want to be in this business, you can make it work for you.
And we're in an image industry. There's no doubt about it. You know, we're the only industry that puts our face on signs and business cards. It's very weird. This is a weird industry. I can't get over it. But so while we're an image industry, you might as well be authentic and be yourself.
Tell the truth. It's easier to remember.
Any other questions?
I have a couple just quick. So, where do you keep all of your videos? Do you
Phone.
Okay, you do.
Yeah, and I try to keep them in folders, but I'm not great about it. So sometimes I do have to like dig back and find them.
Okay, and you don't put, I just thought you don't put all of them on YouTube. Is that what I just...
We mostly do listing videos on YouTube, which we then pay to blast out to specific demographics so that we can show future prospective sellers, look how many views we got. Okay.
So to answer your question, like the sexy one, I did not post on YouTube because YouTube is it casts a wider net, and I just don't want creeps. So it's on my social media, which I already have creeps on there, but I have less creeps on social media than I would on Instagram.
So on YouTube, you do put all your on the set with Josette things.
On the set
so it's like
with
a very
Josette.
professional platform.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and those are on a playlist within YouTube, so I can direct buyers to playlists and say, watch all these videos.
It's amazing how these accumulate too, because like we started doing it, there really wasn't very many, and now there's like
A library.
dozens and dozens and dozens of videos because we were just, I should say, we're very consistent about it. I just have been drug along for the ride.
That's the key word, right? Do something consistently.
Right.
And before you know it, you're trying to go, wow, I have a body of work. Or
Right,
I have
exactly.
4 listings, or I have whatever.
And it's interesting, even preparing for this, going through our listing videos and going, geez, like we've done a lot of these. Like it's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's
to
definitely
see
the fun
now. It's
part
only been a
of
couple of years.
meet and help.
So.
All right, how about a big hand for these guys?
Thank you very much.
We'll be in our office if you guys have any questions or if you want to chat.